The following podcast you're about to listen to is brought to you by the Push Start Media Network, where everything you do in life begins with pushing start. Now, but you chose to be with us today. Welcome back to another edition of Sport Your Enthusiasm. Beat the odds? Damn, I messed up the title. Beat the odds. I'm your humble host, Bryce Benjamin. Of course, you know I got the co-host of the year with me. You know him. You love him. Mr. Ed Reuter in the building. What's good, my dude?
Oh, tonight's a great night. Not only am I feeling great, not only am I 5 weeks, you're undisputed
6
weeks undisputed heavyweight co-host of the year.
I don't know, man. You ain't heavyweight no more. You more of a cruiserweight now.
I know. I'm gonna be doing flips off the top rope for all my wrestling fans. You know those cruiserweights.
There you go.
I'll be all over the place. And Bryce, let me tell you why I'm really excited today.
Tell me why.
I heard a rumor that we've got a very, very special guest. I mean, this guy really special. So I'm going to let you introduce him, but I am amped.
Hey, man, sources confirm this rumor. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to announce we have a special guest in the building via satellite. My guy, Vinny Palmieri in the building. Vinny, sir, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. What's going on, guys? I am glad to be on. I appreciate the invitation from Ed and Bryce, and I'm ready to discuss some football games, some lines. And if you guys already know me, you know this is what I'm all about. So let's do it.
Man, you hear the enthusiasm on this man's voice. This is why we got him on the show. You already know it's going to be an excellent episode. But, you know, before we dive too deep into things, Vinny, as the honored special guest, we want to give you a minute. First time on the show. Let the fans know your fanhood, favorite team, sports, players, whatever you want to let them know. The floor is yours, my man.
All right, so Vinny Palmieri. My friends know me as Penn. I'm a Raiders fan, silver and black through and through. I'm a Blue Jays fan. I'm a Golden Domer. I went to UNLV, so I root for my Rebels. Hate Duke. Got to put that out there.
Aye.
And, I root for my fantasy players. That's it. Nowadays, once you get older, you start playing fantasy football. Man, you root for those players that are on your fantasy team. So, first and foremost, silver and black, the Blue Jays, and anyone from the Mountain West.
Hey, man, just win, baby. I can dig it. All right, man, there it is. Boom. Yo, Reuter, we talked about it on last week's episode. Well, this past episode, I should say, of SYE. Quarter of the season is in the books. We now start the back half of the first half of the season, the next 4 weeks, man. And week 5 is upon us. We have some pretty good games on the slate as well. I was looking at them when I was making my picks, giving my predictions. And man, I'm looking forward to getting to this conversation. So let's go ahead and kick it off, gentlemen. First game on the slate here, Reuter and Vinny. We have the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. There's a slight scare with all the COVID outbreak. Thanks, Tennessee and New England. We had New England's cornerback. Help me out with the name real quick. Stephon Gilmore, excuse me. He caught COVID, and there's a worry that some of the Chiefs players might have caught it as well, including Patrick Mahomes, because they had that interaction at the end of the game. But luckily, nothing was to manifest from that, and we still got football this week. So for this game here, Las Vegas traveling to Kansas City. They are right now 11.5-point underdogs, and over-under for this game is 55.5. Vinny, you are the honored guest here for today's episode, and I leave the floor here, man. This is your team, and go ahead, have at it, man. What you thinking about this game, sir?
All right, so I'm very interested in this game, as you guys already know. the Raiders, they're ready to play this game. They're sick of losing. And I do remember last week you guys both correctly had Buffalo, and you guys were both very confident in Buffalo winning that game against the Raiders, and you guys were both correct. For one thing, I thought Buffalo, I thought the Raiders played a good game. I thought Buffalo was a lot better than the Raiders, and the Raiders stuck with it. They were, 2 scores down. They turn over the ball in the fourth quarter. They got a good stop. They got the ball back. They turn it over again. It's okay. They got the stop. And I'm seeing some difference in this Raiders attitude. They're not giving up. But they're still lacking some talent.
Yeah.
They still lack some talent. Although Jonathan Abrams, mark my words, will be one of the top 2 safeties in the league in the next couple of years.
Top 2?
Top two.
Oh.
Behind Jamal Adams, in the next couple of years, you guys are going to be saying, my man wears number 24 like Woodson did.
Yeah.
He's going to be a top safety.
It's on the record, man. I like it.
Lock it up.
I like it.
So when I take a look, I like 2 things. I like to look at a coaching staff, and I like to look at the line, that number. What's that number telling me? Well, that number at 11.5, I seen it open at 12. Now it's down 11.5. That tells me there's a little bit of action on Oakland. And anytime there's early action, that's the smart money, right? Because the public doesn't bet until Sunday. They're not betting the game on Monday and Tuesday. They're betting it on Sunday. So if you see some early action on Monday and Tuesday, that's telling me the smart money might be thinking, hey, maybe this 12 is too big, and the books would bring that down a little. Now, the Pats and the Raiders and the Chiefs have a common opponent. They both play the Patriots this year. Now, Kansas City was -7 over the Patriots at home. So that tells me the Chiefs are 4 better than the Patriots, right? Because you get 3 points for the home field advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Pats were 6.5 over Vegas. So that tells me at home. So that tells me the Pats are 3.5 better than Vegas. So if you extrapolate that, that means Kansas City is 3 better than the Pats. Pats are 3 better than Vegas. That's 9.5 better than Vegas. So this line is saying that the Chiefs are 8.5 better. So that's around the same line. So we'll see a couple examples later on in this schedule where you see some discrepancies. There's not a big discrepancy here. But I do have to say, I hate to say it, I do like these Chiefs. I do like these Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I like these Chiefs because the Raiders can't stop the run.
Yeah.
And Clyde the Glide, that's what they called him last Monday. Clyde the Glide from Clyde Drexler, right? Remember Drexler?
The H is silent.
CEH. He can run. He's tough. And they just have too many weapons. So I have to go with the Chiefs, unfortunately, minus the 11.5.
I know that's tough to say, man. But hey, listen, I respect it. Ruder, what you thinking, bro?
Well, my first thoughts aren't about the game. My first thoughts about how could I have possibly forgotten to let everyone know that Vinny is an expert in the game. This is a guy, as you heard him say, went to UNLV, lived part of his life out in Vegas, worked in a casino, if I'm not mistaken. So if there's anyone, as far as an expert guest that we could have brought on, it's this guy. Yeah. I can't believe I didn't start with this. Obviously, you saw the in-depth analysis there on the spreads. This guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, that was hard. He definitely came in hard with it. I like it.
He said the smart money's on the early bets. I'm thinking the smart money's on whatever my man Vinny's saying right now. But we'll see how that pans out. I'm going to keep it brief here. I think that I agree with Vinny entirely that they are a well-coached team, a team that plays hard, but a team that's going to be just they're going to be up against it this week from a talent perspective. I think the Chiefs will dissect them. I could see the Raiders being down like 10 most of the game and then getting another late score in there in garbage time. I like the Chiefs to win, but I like the Raiders with the points.
Okay. I got to lean the Chiefs as well. And just going off of recent history, the last two games that the Chiefs and Raiders played, and I'm talking about 2019, of course, we've seen a score of 28-10, and then we've seen a score of 9-40, both Chiefs victories. Now, obviously, it's a different team this year, but, Patrick Mahomes, he's back, he's better. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, got to make sure I get that E in there, as fucking every ESPN enunciation has to do it. Yeah, it's like you said, Vinny, the Raiders defense, they really can't stop the run. And Pat Mahomes, man, he's just a different breed of human. Like, he is not from this planet. I'm convinced he's an alien. And Andy Reid, like one of the greatest play callers, period. Like, simple as that. And I can see honestly getting away from the Raiders. As much as I would like for it to be a good game, I just think that this Chiefs and Kansas City Chiefs offense is just rolling right now. And Kansas City defense has been pretty solid as well. I got to give credit where credit's due. Ruder, you and I was talking about Chris Jones. He's just a fucking game wrecker, along with the Honey Badger back there. And then they corner Fenton. He's looking like a young superstar corner in the making right now. He's locking up literally everybody. So Darren Waller, I think they have a good game, but overall, I think the Chiefs win this one. I'm going to go with the Chiefs, and I think that they cover as well. So I'll go with a score of give me 38-17 Chiefs. Yeah, I'm going to roll with that one there. Okay. Moving forward here, next game on the slate, we got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Pittsburgh. And right now, Pittsburgh Steelers are the favorites, -7. Over under is 44.5. Ruder, going to you on this one first, my man. What you thinking?
Well, I would normally say that the Eagles have been a little bit resurgent. Yes, they had that tie that was kind of embarrassing against Cincinnati. I think an undervalued Cincinnati team, though, because this isn't last year's Cincinnati Bengals. I think they're a little bit better than people were giving them credit for. I would also say that the Eagles played a pretty nice game against an albeit injured 49ers team, but they did come away with the win there. So that's interesting. And the Steelers, as much as they've shut down the run, and as much as they're 3-0 and coming off of a nice long break, they have not been tested this year. So I know, Bryce, this was a team that we differed on, actually, when we were talking about our top 5 teams in the NFL so far.
Yeah.
But for me, the Steelers beat up on a Giants team that's absolutely atrocious. They managed to beat up on a Broncos team that was one of the most heavily injured teams in all of football. And then they beat up on the then Bill O'Brien coach Texans. And I think that they're great at stopping the run. I'm just not convinced of their offense yet. I think I'm a little bit jaded. I had Juju Smith-Schuster last year in fantasy, and he just broke my heart, albeit with Duck back there. But Old Duck. But I think I've got to take the Eagles here with the points. I'm feeling the points this week. I think the Eagles are going to win this game outright, to be honest with you. I think that despite the fact that they've had their problems, I think they're going to turn it around this week. Peterson's a good coach, and we're going to see about a 28-20 win for the Eagles. Give me them with the points all day.
Okay, I like that. Vinny?
All right, so I've watched some Philly this year, and I've watched 2 different Philly teams. I've watched the first Philly team for the first 3 weeks where Carson Wentz looked like he didn't belong in the NFL. They looked atrocious. And then I watched them last week, and Wentz was completely changed my opinion about him, right? Philly loves to feed Miles Sanders the ball. I mean, Sanders is their bell cow. They lost Goddard. They have no wide receivers whatsoever, so it is what it is. Now, Pittsburgh absolutely put the stop on Saquon, week 1, week 2?
Week 1, yeah.
And Saquon's arguably the top 2 back in the league.
Yeah.
Regardless of the offensive line. So, looking at it, I have to lay the points. Pittsburgh at home, and they're coming off a bye week, correct?
They are. Yeah, technically that was a bye week last week because of COVID. And
even without that Deontay Johnson, they still have that Chase Claypool opposite of Juju Smith-Schuster. That Chase Claypool